I saw you on television. Oh, so I was in horrible pain for 4 months, went to a hospital and begged and pleaded for them to discover what was wrong with me. And they did. And they let me know I have stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And it is in a lot of places. Like every vertebrae, my ribs, pelvis, my shoulders, and some organs. So I panicked. And I saw you on television and said, I don't remember what the words were, but I knew you knew the secret. I knew you had it in you and I needed to meet you.
Can you imagine? You're not feeling well. You're feeling pain. You go to the doctor. Can't find anything. Doctor after doctor after doctor. And finally, they find that you have stage 4 breast cancer. It's spread all over your body. This is Amy. She is one of the most inspirational people I ever met. I was doing an interview on Cleveland television for a show I was doing in town, and she saw me and for some reason connected to me, and she knew she had to meet me. And when I met her that day after my event, they had given her 6 months to live. She cried. She told me that every time she went to the doctor looked at her like she was dead already. She would go home and cry for hours and hours. So she just knew she had to meet me. She came up after the event and we talked, and now it's 2 years later. And I want to share with some of the conversation from Sunday. All right. So enjoy this. I'll have the full conversation up very, very soon. It's an inspirational story. What would you do in this case? Think about it. Single mother, 3 kids. They tell you have 6 months to live. You're at the end of your rope. Let's hear more from Amy.
So I had I had a cane because I refused the walker at the time. I just took little shuffle steps, parked my car.
2 years ago, right? 2 years ago.
Yeah. I still was not. I was in excruciating pain. I was taking baby steps. I could still barely move. You talked about my child, his school, my parents, their address. I was like, all right, then. So I imposed upon you afterwards and said, oh, please, let's talk. And I knew you knew the secret, and I knew you knew what I needed to know to move forward. And I was ecstatic that you came and shared with me your story, which is so powerful. And the first key was releasing the fear that I realized talking with you that I was living in.
They gave you 6 months, right? They gave you a 6-month diagnosis back then.
They did. Right? So they actually, they did in the eyes of my doctors. She looked at me like I was dead every time I met her. And I'd cry for 3 days after my appointment every time. And so I finally, after a year, I changed doctors. Yeah, I made it a year. And now I've made it 2. Truly, I was a mess at that time. And I just knew that there was a secret and I needed to know what it was. So thank you for your kindness and taking time. And 6 months isn't a lot. I'm a single mom. I have 2 minor children still. I do have an adult son who is engaged and has a beautiful family. Started rereading. I'm like, let me go back to the base work because it really took me far. And you were touching back on, well, I touched back because you wrote it, on the basics. I really love that, talking about chi, and I loved learning how to make a chi ball. It takes away pain. I realized I really wanted to read it with my boys. So to share that knowledge. And I am now a grandma and another grandma to be again. Wow. One of my goals was to live the 6 months to meet my granddaughter, and I did. So May 1st, she became a year old, and I got that opportunity to hold her, and it was like heavenly. That was so powerful. So one of them is to meet my grandson in September. That'll be exciting. And I realized this. I had gotten stuck in a rut. I would like to, one, leave a legacy for my children, and while I'm here, and then when I move on, and then know that my children will be cared for. I am truly grateful that I was alive to make one more birthday happen and get to enjoy this beautiful day with my children here at the park and get to have time with you. It's such a privilege. I am so truly grateful for this privilege for you to come alongside me on my journey to health. And thank you for being with me as I'm healthy and enjoying life.